Nigerians are divided over proposal by governors on the tax bill. I repeat, Nigerians, the North and South, are divided over the recent proposal given by the Nigerian governors on this particular tax bill that is causing nightmare to many politicians, especially in the North. We had the governors telling us that this tax bill, this is our proposal, that derivation will get 30%, equality will get 50%, population will get 20%. Now, before Tinubu carried on reforms on this tax of a thing, this tax bill, before the reforms, we had derivation at 20%, we had equality at 50%, and we had population at 30%. That is before Tinubu brought reforms. Existing protocol, derivation 20%, equality 50%, population 30%. Now, Tinubu's tax officials, those that brought in the reforms, were telling us that this is how we want it to be. Derivation should be 60%, equality should be 20%, and population should be 20%. For those that don't understand this big grammar, you understand? We have, for instance, let's look at Lagos State. Let's use Lagos State as an example because the Southwest region is the most prosperous region in Nigeria today. And when you look at North and South disagreeing over this proposal, because some people are saying no, we can't have equality 50% and derivation 30%. We can't have it. Derivation should increase. So it is between the North and South. Most Northerners are against it because we know that Northerners or Northern governors are not creative in that light as much as we expect them. They are not hardworking. Everybody is now lazy. It is a lazy proposal. What the governors are bringing is a lazy proposal. So the Southerners that are hardworking, that are looking for ways to improve on economy and whatever, are the ones saying that we cannot leave this derivation at 30%. It must increase. Some people are saying at least 45%. It must increase. So the governors are proposing derivation 30%, equality 50%. Equality means laziness. Equality. Okay, because we are one Nigeria. Then some people will be working and you'll be eating. So equality should be 50%. Then population, some people will just give birth anyhow, without planning. They just are marginals everywhere. Go to the streets of Kano, Kaduna, Katsina, you see them, they just spread everywhere with fake population census. So we'll give 50% for being one Nigeria after the hard work. They will now bring 20% because you have population. Now look at it. I've said before that it is the southern part of Nigeria that is feeding the country, the nation. I will repeat it. The southern part of Nigeria that is feeding the country. If the north is boasting that they are whatever they are just blabbing. It's just mouth. If you take away the south, if you separate the northern and southern protectorate, the north will be impoverished in not less than 6 months. They will not be able to pay salaries in not less than 6 months. So I would want to say that these guys are acting as parasites. But the thing that is shocking me, I'm shocked that this is collective statement from all the governors, both the southwest, both the southeast, both the south-south, both the north-central, both the northeast and the northwest. Everybody, they are coming together to say, yes, this is our proposal. I don't know why the southwestern governors will not kick against that proposal. Because now, Nigerians are angry and saying that this tax bill, there's no difference. Imagine, usually it was derivation 20%, equality 50%, and population 30%. Look at what the governors are telling us. Derivation 30%, equality still 50%, and population 20%. They took from equality 10% and put in derivation. They took for population. So it's just almost the same thing. They are fighting that derivation. I've told you the value added tax is what these governors are fighting. Now, productivity, creativity are fundamental parts of restructuring. Hard work, creativity, productivity, hard work, and planning. They are fundamental parts of restructuring. And the northern governors are unwilling to take that path of creativity. We have said it, the Southeast, disadvantaged with this tax bill, they are willing to accept their fate. Look at it. Look at what is happening in the Southeast. Everybody is hitting on their governors. You must do something. You must do something. Let us come together and rebuild the Southeast. But the Northerners are only going to sit down there and fold their hands. Born to rule. Sultan of Sokoto, the seat of power, this and that, without doing anything. Sponsoring Boko Haram, sponsoring ISWAP, sponsoring bandits, killing farmers, killing their productivity, killing farmers and productivity. At the end of the day, you want us to accept this, your proposal. I believe the president would not be coward, would not be suppressed or threatened to accept this proposal, because last now Supreme Court go settle this VAT issue. Instead, Rivers State and Lagos State should go to Supreme Court and demand for 100% VAT derivation. They should be collecting 100%, and whatever they want to give, they give. Every state should be collecting their derivation. Since we are telling you that derivation should be 60%, even at that, if you are going to bring it down, you don't bring it down to 30%, at least 45%, 45%. That will be debatable. Except this is a market price. You know, when you want to go to market, the market woman will tell you, say, this one where you see so now 100 naira, then you want to beat it down to 50, 70 naira, accept. But at this is not acceptable. Before I move on, I want to thank the Yoruba Ronu. You see, Yoruba Ronu is a blessing in disguise to the Southeasterners for helping landmark properties, whatever they call themselves, to understand that the Southeast is a place that somebody can still develop or invest in. That huge investment in Enugu State is an Imo State man. It's opening the eyes of many people that you must take the risk. If you are looking at the market, just create the environment and attract people. People will start coming. People will start filling up Enugu State. The population, I told you, population still is power. Thank you, Yoruba Ronu. Please keep on renewing. Keep on your Ronu. Keep on it. Now, in Lagos State now, something nursing school, they are saying 25% of those that are being trained as nurses are Yorubas or are indigenes, others are there. We will come to that one. So you want to jettison the fact that Nigeria should be united and everybody should be seen as a Nigerian. So if you have a school, your school should take priority for the Yorubas before any other tribe. Very, very wonderful. Yoruba Ronu, keep on renewing, because you don't know where you are. We don't know who God can use to help us restructure this country. Let's move on to the tax bill, the tax proposal. Let me explain to a layman understanding on this tax of a thing. For instance, we have 3 states. Let me pick 3 states from the major. We have Kano, we have Lagos, and we have, I think I should take Anambra. Lagos, Kano, and Anambra. Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo. Lagos, Kano, and Anambra. These 3 people makes the country. Let's assume. It's an assumption. Then everybody will say, go into the forest and catch bushmeat. Bushmeat. Lagos goes into the forest and gets 10 bushmeat. Kano goes into the forest and gets 3 bushmeat. Then Anambra goes in the forest and also gets 3 bushmeat. So, because we are all brothers, we bring all our bushmeat together. All our effort will bring it together. The federal government will bring it together. You understand? Then we are going to share it. Let's say when you bring 10 plus, okay, let's say Lagos 10, Anambra 5, Kano 5. Let's have that round number. So 10 plus 5 plus 5 is 20. So what this tax bill is suggesting is that bring Lagos your own, 100% of your own. This is what it was before. Derivation, out of the 10, 10, 2, 20% of 100 is 20% of 100 is 20, I believe so. And 2 would go to you. Lagos hustle for 10. Go inside bush, sweat, hustle for 10. For derivation, 2 will go to him. Then the rest will be shared amongst every other person. Then we look at population and equality. So if you remove 50% for equality, 50% of 100 is 50, abi? 50, they will not share it equally. Maybe 1.5, 1.5, 1.5 for everybody. So Lagos, they will take 50 from Lagos first and share equally between everybody. While he takes, for his effort, he takes 30%. Then the remaining 33 that's remaining, you now look at, okay, who plenty pass? Who get chest pass? Who be the senior? Who is older? That is rubbish. Lagos should naturally get 50% of its effort, derivation, 50%, 5. Then every other thing you want to start sharing, equality and population, to be shared for other people. So now, an Anambra State, 20% will take 1. After they have shared, after they have shared the equality, 50%, Lagos is having 2, Anambra is having 1, Kano is having 1. So let's share Lagos 50%, equal for everybody, 1.5, 1.5. So Lagos is having 3.5, 3.5. Kano is having 2.5. Then Anambra is having 2.5. Let's say population, Lagos and Kano has population. Let's say for the population 3, Lagos take 1.5, or Lagos takes, I think Kano is more populated than Lagos. They share it unevenly. I know Anambra is going to get the lowest. Kano is going to get at least. But Lagos will be cheated at the end of the day. When you do that calculation, at the end of the day, Lagos will not even have up to 50% of his effort, 50%. I'm trying to explain this like a layman. So, at the end of the day, those that are working hard are feeding parasites. Parasites. Lagos should have, with its efforts, not me tell you, may your politicians not use their brain, run their package. This is a union, a devious union. So you should know that if you are playing politics, you need to have your sense. When Northerners were killing Southwest leaders had to plan ahead. You are not so unzobu. They planned ahead. They calculated, they did, and they are delivering now. Look at the Southwest is the most prosperous region in Nigeria today. Almost half of the industries we have in Nigeria today is in the South. It's in Ogun State. Almost half. Let's say 40%. It's in Ogun State. Have you been to Ogun State before? For those of you that have not been to Ogun State, start from Beggar Aziz and start moving. We are talking about the MDAs, the small factories that are in the communities and society that's empowering the communities and societies. We are not talking about the creative hubs. We are not talking about the headquarters of multinationals in Nigeria, federal government investment and citations in these states. These politicians carefully plan their way, devious. You know, the Southwest, I asked the Southwest, a Southwestern, a Yoruba man told me that we know that we Yorubas, we have a way we can lobby our way. I know I don't want to use a word to offend anybody, but we understand the game. Yorubas are good at that. Propaganda in Nigeria, you can't beat the Yorubas propaganda at all. When it comes to journalism, I went to a Yoruba populated school. I met people that were practicing journalism firsthand. and they are Yorubas. And I was born in Yoruba land. I understand the Yoruba culture and the way they behave. But my understanding of Yoruba culture does not make it bad though. Don't think Yorubas are bad. The crop of people we have today are very, very unimaginable. The crop of people, even in Igbo land, the crop of leaders we have today, they don't reflect the true identity of Igbos. The crop of Yorubas we have today, even though there's this thing with lobbying, normally a man is a political animal. It's a normal thing. Be a political animal. Lobbying should be part. If you are doing business, an Igbo man is doing business, he will play politics. He will do business as business. There's politics in business. The same way there's politics in Yoruba culture. The Igbo culture is like a straightforward thing. But when they are doing business, they play politics. So when it comes to identifying as an Igbo man, they look at you straight. But when it comes to business-wide, they play the politics that Yoruba play in their culture. In Yoruba, you have a church called Deeper Life, populated by Yoruba people. So if you think that it's a Yoruba thing for them not to be straightforward, it is imbued. The people, I don't know how to explain this. So when it comes to propaganda agenda, you cannot beat the Yorubas. They had to play their game, and they played it. Even they lost their conscience in it. Some of them, in playing that game, they lost morality, because if you are going to get good governance, the kind of politics you are playing in Nigeria today, you cannot arrive anywhere at good governance. We have been speaking the BB grammar since 1960. You have been speaking it. It's a lie. Nigeria is one. Nigeria can be better. When I was in primary school, Nigeria can be better. We prayed. We went for night vigil. We prayed. Now things are worse, much worse. Bible says, in the last days, perilous times shall come. Iniquity shall abound. So don't expect things to get good. So our pastors then were telling us that things will get better. But while the Bible told us, our pastors told us that we are in the last days, and they are telling us that Nigeria will get better. But the Bible told us that in the last day, perilous time shall come. When you hear of war and rumors of war, when you hear of hunger, pestilence, crisis, just know that the end is near. So the pastor is telling us the end is near, and he's still telling us that Nigeria will get better. Especially in Nigeria, that iniquity is abound. No. When Bible says, in the last days, iniquity shall abound, things will not get better. No, don't come and deceive us. You understand? So with the politics we are playing today, one side will be more advantageous than the other side. The more reasons why we need to separate and disembark this current status quo. If you look at the reactions on this proposed tax bill by the governors, you know that it is two-sided. You see, the Yorubas are more saying no, we don't want. Some Igbos are indifferent, while some are saying, okay, it's a good one, let's support it. It is very hard for you to see an Igbo person outrightly rejecting it. Outrightly supporting it. They are either rejecting it or indifferent. They are rejecting the governor's proposal or indifferent. So that is on the south. That is southwest, south, southeast, south. The north are the ones. Most of them are very few. Maybe 10% of them are saying, let's move on with this. Our governors have been lazy, this and that. 10%. This tells a lot about the kind of unity what Nigeria, the kind of benefit what Nigeria is bringing to the south. The north has ruled Nigeria for over 40 years. But this is what we get when we are looking at things that will bring progress. We proffer solutions to this dilapidating society and economy. But we have people that will always want to draw us back. But no matter what happens, I believe that this government, let's trust in this government not to fall for any of these things that this governor has presented. I believe they are playing politics, or they are trying to price the market. Derivation should be on the high side, if not 40%. What is equality? What is population? Let's say population, because population somehow brings productivity. Yes, population, if you use your population very well, there will be productivity. So Lagos is populated and there's productivity in Lagos. People are doing one or two things. Yes, the environment is set for business. Unlike other places whereby we have bandits ravaging everywhere. moving haywire up and down, and the people are supporting them emotionally. I've said it before. These people believe that these guys that have devoted their time to, in quote, fight for Islam, Boko Haram, fight against Western civilization and culture, one day they will be able to fight for them as Muslims and do the jihad thing for them. That's what they believe. These are our grand soldiers. Some politicians that are today, they are alive today, said they are our freedom fighters. That the government should find a way to appease people that are killing, who provoke them that they are killing. So you intentionally impoverish your region, you intentionally put your region in harm's way, and you are thinking that it is business as usual. The South cannot continue to feed the North. The South cannot continue to feed the North. We must find ways whereby we will all encourage hard work, creativity, planning, yes, and reduce corruption. We must find a way. I know the governors want to get back to Tinubu over this local government autonomy of the thing, and I believe Jagaban will make sure that this tax bill, as proposed, if not 50%, gets to the people that have worked hard, the states, the regions that have worked hard, and that will be creative enough to use their resources to foster whatever they are going to foster. If the governors are trying to get back at him for separating the local government from their jurisdiction, the governors now don't have anything on local government. Local government are big boys now. Governor will not influence anybody from the local government as it were, as it was. They could influence, but not as it were. Local government have money. They are big boys now to work on the society. So governors might want to, through this means, don't let this guy strip us naked though. Let's make sure that this tax bill does not even take our boxers away, because that is what the tax bill will do. Take off the boxers of these people that are lazy, that have decided that it is their birthright to be lazy. They are ordained to be lazy and be parasites and be bragging. Now you know it is clear. It's not by big grammar writing articles up and down. You know that it is clear, very clear, that the South feeds the North. If you take away oil from Nigeria, nobody stands. Take away oil. Our oil revenue last time was 80%. Take away oil, nobody stands. And where do you find oil? And the biggest refinery everywhere is in the South.